Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome so much to my channel. Welcome to my puppers in the background, as always, making a mess on my couch. Okay, you guys, I am so happy to have you here. It's Thursday morning and it's time for an update on the Sister Wives. Last month, the Sun US, the US branch of the magazine The Sun reported that Kody and Robyn Brown had requested a $150,000 equity loan on their home that they purchased in August of 2019. We know that in 2019 they actually purchased not only a house but the property adjacent to the house for Robyn to live in with Kody and their children. They purchased an empty parcel of land right next door, and that parcel is pretty large in size, and a lot of people have wondered whether or not they are going to build on it, although it appears as though the parcel of land came as a package deal when they purchased that home. So there's been some things going on behind the scenes that have a lot of people thinking that there is some money struggles going on with the family. The Sun reported that Kody and Robyn obtained and applied for a $150,000 equity line of credit on the home they purchased. When they originally purchased the home, they plopped down around $225,000, and they are now requesting $150,000 of that back. At the time of the request, they had waived some rights that would protect them from being able to use to be able to claim this on a bankruptcy. In fact, when they requested it, they waived their rights to be protected from that debt if they were to file. So it's interesting because they said it was so urgent that they needed this money that they were going to waive that specific right. Most people don't want to do that. So there's been some questions about what's going on with the family. Last week, Kody interrupted Mary very erratically when she was live streaming a sale on her LLR page on Facebook, selling her clothing and tops, and he was asking that she sign some legal documents. It appeared as though he was asking her to sign a title to something. There was some discussion around van or ban. We weren't really clear what they were actually talking about, and obviously Mary did not clearly state what it was she was signing. So a lot of people were wondering, is it related to the property? Was it maybe for these loan documents? Was there something in Las Vegas or in Utah? We know that Mary's bed and breakfast is still up and operating in Utah, so it's safe to say it has likely nothing to do with that. Who knows what they were actually signing, but I did some research today because they have a lot of property, and one thing a lot of you guys were asking is, are there properties on the market? Well, I didn't see anything for sale at this time, and it still appears as though they own all of the property, the four lots on Coyote Pass. They have the home that they own that Kody and Robyn own, the home that Christine and Kody own, and then that extra parcel of land that Robyn and Kody own. Now, here's the thing. When they purchased that property next door to that home, they had a tax debt that they needed to pay, and it was due by December of 2019. And it appears as though they are delinquent in property taxes for that property, which is odd considering that the debt is not that large. So a quick review of the Coconino County Treasurers shows that they are back taxes $937 and were actually charged interest of around $47 because they did not pay their taxes for 2019. Now, some people are like, but the taxes for 2019 are typically due by the mid-May. Well, here's the thing. According to the website, they're actually delinquent because it shows that the first half of their payment was due on November 1st, 2019, and the full payment was due by December 31st, 2019. And because of that, they were tacked on a $47 interest charge for not paying the taxes. Why the taxes haven't been paid is odd. I mean, it's only $937. When you look at the overall tax debt of what they're covering, for instance, the property that he and Robyn own has an annual tax of over $500 a year, according to the same website, the same treasurer's office here. So why is it that they're behind taxes here? And why is it that they haven't paid and not able to pay a $937 tax debt? Is it that they don't know? Is it that they can't afford it? There's been a lot of questions about, one of the rumblings and one of the biggest things this season was Kody struggling and sort of discussing all of the financial issues that the family was going through. There was a lot of back and forth about, Robyn having to take out the equity that she had earned from her purchase of her home and put that into buying a new property. They added a very large mortgage when they purchased that property with the $225,000 that they put down. They have a large mortgage with Christine's home because Christine's home was over $500,000. Mary rents a home with a that is around 6,000, I think, square feet, or 4,000 to 6,000 square feet. Mary's monthly rent from records obtained through Zillow at the time that she rented showed rent for her home around $4,500. So they have a lot of debt that they're paying every single month just for their living accommodations. Then they have all of these taxes that they have to pay. And then they took this massive pay cut with their Sister Wives show back in, I think, 2017, when TLC was considering canceling the show. At the time, the reduction in price or of payment by the network went from $180,000 individually for each 5 of them down to $180,000 total, which has been reported by multiple outlets. So with not that much money coming in for the show of only around $180,000 a year, it's not a lot of income, but they have a lot of debt. Now, Kody mentioned when he sort of barged into Mary's office that day to have her sign documents, that he was stressed out and that he was even working. One of the biggest questions has always been like, what the heck does Kody do for work? I have no idea. He, according to, business filings, he has and runs like the Sister Wives Entertainment company, like the Brown family sort of LLC, where the funding comes in for the show. But beyond that, I've not seen any other businesses rented or like registered in his name that would obtain it. On the show, he claims like he does, he has all these like sales stuff that he does, but it's unclear like what sales he's doing and who it is that he's working with and if it's investing or what it is that he's selling. A lot of people have speculated that they are potentially getting involved in another MLM because maybe they are going to start selling CBD because they started talking about that when Kody barged in on Mary's live stream. So we don't know what Kody does for work. Mary sells LLR. Christine sells LLR, which are multi-level marketing companies, which actually they could be making a lot, but they also are encouraged to invest a lot, which means their net income isn't as high as you would think it is because the company says, well, now that you've made X, you need to do plus X investment back into the company. And you remember when Mary was moving how much inventory of clothing that she has? That's not uncommon. In fact, a lot of people who sell the product that have left have had garages full of product that they could not move because of the oversaturation of the company. LuLaRoe is actually not in good financial standing right now. They're being sued by a lot of different places. The state of Washington is suing them. They have multiple class action lawsuits. They have a vendor that is suing them for over $45 million in the state of California. So there's a lot of controversy, not only that, and financial issues going on with LLR. So it's definitely a risky move to be sort of staking and placing your future in a company like that. And then who knows, Robyn doesn't seem to work. And then he says that Janelle works, but I don't know what Janelle does. But if they're working, they would have to be bringing in a lot of income in order to be able to managing all of this debt. Now, a lot of you had asked, have they sold the properties in Vegas? Yes. All 4 of the homes that were on the cul-de-sac have sold. There is someone in my comments was saying, oh, I think there's another property that they own in Vegas, I haven't found any records of that, but that doesn't mean it's not true. But the properties in Vegas are sold, so they're not carrying that debt anymore. Mary has the house in Utah, and then they've got all this property in Flagstaff. Right now, they're hanging on to this massive debt with this undeveloped property that they haven't broken ground on, that they haven't started building on, and it's just sitting there making, like, they're losing money on that property every day that they don't do anything with it. So a lot of you have said, like, do you think they'll actually build? I don't know. But if we're looking at what's going on right now with having to take out a loan on the house they just bought, and then also not being able to pay a $937 tax debt, it just seems really odd. And it seems odd that this would be outstanding because it's not even that large. So what's going on? What do you think is going on? Like, could this be the reason why Kody was so stressed? Tell me. I mean, we know on the show he's not the most, he doesn't think very well, I guess, or he doesn't plan very well. And they always seem to be like one paycheck short of being destitute. You know what I mean? So we'll have to see how this develops. They had last fall, they had another tax debt that they eventually made good on, but this one they have not yet made good on, and they appear to be 6 months delinquent. All right, you guys, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Bye.